In the last video, we were working on this problem right here, and this problem, I forgot to tell you, is similar to 3E and 3F. So for both of those, you should do the same thing that I'm doing in this video. All right, so we were at the point where we had subtracted our x squareds from both sides, and then I subtracted 36, so now I have to divide both sides by 12. And when I divide by 12, let's see, I know 4 goes into both of them. What do I get for x? I get 16/3 for x when I take a 4 out of both of these, right? If I divide both of these by 4, I get 16/3. So that's what the value of x is. For both 3e and 3f, you should get fractions, so expect fractions for those. So now let's move on. These are similar to 4a and b. If PQ and PR are tangent to circle E, find x. Well, I want you to notice that they share a point of tangent, or a point outside of the circle. So according to the last postulate we had, these two tangents are congruent. Their lengths are congruent. So if I just set their lengths equal to each other, I am going to subtract 6x from both sides. I get 28 equals 3x minus 2. I'll go ahead and add 2 to both sides to get 30 equals 3x. And when I divide by 3, I get x equals 10. Okay, so if they share a common point outside, two tangents that share a common point outside the circle, their lengths are congruent. So here again, PQ is equal to PR, so I'm going to set them equal. X squared equals 4x plus 32. So in this example, both sides of my equation, the biggest exponent I see for x is 1, so I just solve by my properties of equality. But here I have an x squared. This is a quadratic, so I need to set my equation equal to 0 before I decide how I'm going to solve. So I'm going to subtract 4x and 32 from both sides. 4x minus 32. So that cancels out. I get 0 on this side, and on the left side I get x squared minus 4x minus 32. Well, my first go-to option is to see if I can factor, and there are factors of 32 that add to -4, factors of 32 that add to -4. So that's going to be -8 and 4. That's a -32, by the way. So I have x minus 8 and x plus 4 equals 0. So for x, I get 8 and -4. But I know distances can't be negative, so I'm going to, will that make it, no, I think I actually have two solutions, because if I plug in -4, I get positive numbers, right? -4 squared is 16. If I plug in a -4 here, I get a -16 plus 32. That is also a 16. So I have two solutions to this. X can be a -4, or it could be 8. Okay, how about these last two problems? It says, if circle O is circumscribed in each shape, find the perimeter of the shape. Well, it looks like I have a whole bunch of tangents, right? And I have pairs of tangent lines. So those pairs of tangent lines that start at the same point are congruent. I know these two are congruent because they start at this point, and the two tangents that start at this point are congruent as well. All right, so that means I have, if this one's 12, this must be 12. If this one is 15, that means this one must be 15. And if this one's 17, that means this one is 17. So now all I have to do is walk around and add all my numbers up. So I'm going to start at this point and walk this way around my triangle. So I come to 17, then to 12. When I turn the corner, I get another 12, and I get this 15. When I turn the corner again, I get another 15, and then I get a 17. So when I add, 12 and 12 is 24, 15 and 15 is 30, 17 and 17 is 34. So I get 24 plus 64, which is going to be 88. The perimeter is 88 centimeters. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing on this one. I want you to notice that we have 4 pairs of tangent lines. Okay, so these 4 pairs of tangent lines, the ones that start from the same point, are congruent. Here's this one, so I get these two are congruent. Here's this point right here, so these two here are congruent. And then I get this point here, so this one and this one are congruent. So I'm going to mark all the lengths, and then we're going to walk around this figure and add up all the sides. So since this one's 21, this must be 21. Since this one's 1.5, this must be 1.5. This is 1.9, so that's 1.9. And this one with the circle is 16, so that must be 16. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to walk around my circle. I get 21 plus 1.5. When I turn the corner, I get 1.5 plus 1.9. When I turn the corner, I get 1.9 plus 16. When I turn the corner again, I get 16 plus 21. So what do I get when I add these numbers up? Well, I know 1.5 plus 1.5 is 3. 1.9 plus 1.9 is 3.8. 16 and 16 is 32. And then 21 and 21 is 42. So this is, first two are going to be 6.8. The last two are going to be 74. And so it looks like I have an 80.8 inch perimeter there. Alright, so that's how you should do the last two problems, 5A and 5B, on your worksheet.